Alright guys, for my 400th video, I thought I would give my thoughts on this year's Pro Wrestling Illustrated Top 500 Wrestlers of 2012. And this list is insane. I don't know what they take into consideration when putting this together, but it's a really crazy list of names here. So I printed out all 500 and I figured I'd go through and talk about where some people ranked and whatnot. I am pretty happy with the top 10. I mean, everybody knows by now CM Punk was #1 this year, and I'll talk about that some more once I get down to the top 10. I was actually going to buy this issue and maybe show some of it in the video, but I went to the store and it was like $10, and it's really just some small paragraphs except for the top 10, so there wasn't a lot of pictures or anything, so I didn't go ahead and get it. But the list is online like it always is, and the top 500, I really don't know a lot of these guys. It has Brian Hardy is number 500, the Maestro, which makes me think of Seinfeld, Anton Levi, let's see here, Mr. Ooh La La. Yeah, I don't really know. The Big O is on here. Oh my god. The Big O is that guy who's always in the Zack Ryder videos, but he's number 485, so I do know that name. Jimmy the Hippie. Just some crazy names here, because obviously you got 500 guys. You're going to go through a lot of indie guys too. The Body Snatcher. I'm just trying to see if anybody jumps out at me here. As far as the first, American Kickboxer 2, Luke Robinson, I believe that's the kid who was on Tough Enough, who lost to Andy Levine. Joe Gacy, Nick Fury. Samurai Del Sol is on here at 441, so he should probably be higher, I think. I did look through the list, and I have to say, some of this, it feels like to me the luchadors are kind of lumped together, and then the Japanese wrestlers are lumped together. And I actually watched a shoot interview with AJ Styles, a really, really old shoot, I think when TNA was first starting. And he was talking about being on this list, and how if it was based on, you know, just ring work, that it would probably be a bunch of Japanese guys we've never heard of. And that's true, I do understand that. There are a lot of Japanese guys in the top positions, but it's definitely, they have to take into consideration mic work, the pushes these guys are getting, how over they are, all of that stuff, because some of these will boggle the mind. Sarah Del Rey is at 430, and just to put this in perspective, let me find it because I don't want to mess this up. At 401 is Garrett Bischoff. He shouldn't even be on this list. He's not even a wrestler, if you ask me. I am not a fan of Garrett Bischoff. He's horrible in the ring. He should really be in developmental if he really is serious about being a wrestler, but instead he's fine with his dad giving him a push in TNA, and he doesn't seem to mind that. If he was serious about being a wrestler, he would say, no, I'm not ready to be on TV. I need to hone my skills a little bit more. But this guy's not going to make it in the wrestling business. He's never going to make it anywhere just because his name is Bischoff, and he's getting everything handed to him right now. And because of that, I just don't see him ever getting over. And he doesn't have heel heat either. If they decide to turn him heel, it would be better than what they're doing with him, trying to push him as a face. But even that, I think he's just going to get X-Pac heat. Alright, so back to the list. We have Player Uno at 436. Let's see here. Steven Walters at 424. Scorpio Sky at 410. Sexy Eddie at 403. Garrett Bischoff beat Sexy Eddie in this year's. Has Garrett Bischoff even been wrestling this year? I know they put him with Devon, but he's had 2 matches, 3 matches this year. I can't remember. But yeah, he really does not deserve 401 in the top wrestlers of 2012. That's a joke. That is a joke. Alright, let's keep going up here. Tank Is that IWA's Tank from Mid-South? Because I don't think he's wrestled for the past 3 years. I'm pretty sure Tank retired. Maybe it's a different Tank. I don't know, but at 383, holy crap. Super Dragons at 381. Alright, let's go on here. Alright, the Notorious TID. I have no idea who that is, but I like that name. Dave Christ at 373. Jimmy Jacobs at 371. Bobby Fish at 369. I think Bobby Fish is pretty good in the ring, which makes it really funny that DJ Hyde is 367. DJ Hyde beats Bobby Fish and Jimmy Jacobs. Oh my god, this is a crazy list. Jake Christ, or it says Christ here, at 361. They probably did a typo on that. Ricky Reyes, Percy Watson, Amazing Red at 353. Luke Hawks beat Amazing Red by 1 spot at 352. Greg Excellent at 347. I do have to say, I know a lot of people hate on Greg Excellent. I think he's good at what he does. I think he's good as a comedy character like Santino or R-Truth at this point. But I do think he's got some skills with the comedy aspect. And he's not that bad in the ring for his size and everything. So I don't really mind Greg Excellent. That's a big spot, though, for him to be. Where is he? I already forgot. The hell is he? Oh, 347. But still, I don't think he's that bad. Drew Gulak at 345. Let's see here. Devin Storm, 337. Grizzly Redwood at 330. I know he does a lot of indie work. Willie Mack at 332. Pinky Sanchez, 324. Danny Havoc at 316. That's pretty good for Danny Havoc, I guess. I would think he should be higher up because he's one of the guys who at this point is carrying CZW. Without Danny Havoc and some of these other Drake Youngers, there would be no CZW. So I do think he should probably be a little higher. What surprises me here is Necro Butcher at 314. Now, I love Necro Butcher. He's one of my favorite deathmatch guys of all time. Probably my favorite ever. I think he's better than Nick Mondo. I think he's better than a lot of guys. And he's done it all. And he's completely destroyed his body. But the only reason I don't agree with Necro being at 314 is what has he done this year? Now, all time, yes, Necro's great. But as far as 2012 goes, Necro hasn't done much. I know he does like some Juggalo stuff for ICP or something like that. I've never watched any of it, but aside from that, he hasn't been in the major tournaments. He hasn't really been doing anything. He hasn't done anything for Ring of Honor anymore. He's been gone from there. So what has Necro been doing that puts him in the best in 2012? And that's not me like hating on Necro or anything. I just don't understand. It says Necro Butcher is 314. Black G's is 315. And yes, Black G's hasn't done a lot of stuff either, but he was on TNA for that X Division stuff. He was in Ring of Honor, teaming with Ruckus. He was getting squashed by Ryback. Therefore, I think Black G's should be higher than Necro Butcher. But I don't make the list. I'm just going to talk about it. So, on to this next page. Working our way down here. Let's see, a bunch of people I don't know. Jesse Neal, I don't know if they are talking about Jeff Lewis Neal, but he's at 306. Sabu is at 304. Okay. Luke Gallows at 301. Scotty Vortex is at 300. And he did some good stuff. If you take into consideration, because of the list, it comes out August, September, so I guess they rank from that point forward. So, if you're talking about that, yes, Scotty Vortex probably did deserve a good spot on the list, but I think he retired. So he's not even wrestling anymore. Tommy Dreamer at 291, Icarus 297, Anthony Nese at 291, Ruckus is at 289, which I don't understand how Ruckus is that high up and Black G's isn't. Lance Bravado, 284. Then Silver King, Facade, Silas Young, and at 280, Harlem Bravado. That's something I noticed about this list. When you're in a tag team, they always keep you very close together. Jigsaw at 277. Akibono at 271. Homicides at 270. I know he's been doing some stuff in Ring of Honor, but it's not been mind-blowing or anything. But let's see here. Joey Ryan at 265. MVP at 262, I guess because he's been doing a lot of stuff in Japan. Masada's at 254. I'm not a big fan of Masada at all. If you've watched my CCW show reviews, you know that by now. But I have to say he probably does deserve that spot because he is the champion of CZW. He's done the Tournament of Deaths. He's done some indie shows. And I mean, he goes out there and he makes his indie dates. A lot of guys go to do the indies and they don't show up or something like that. And Masada's been doing the dates. I'm not saying he's putting on great matches, but he shows up. So I guess he's representing the company. Dean Ambrose at 253. Former CZW champion. Let's see. Kaz Hayashi, 248. Extreme Tiger, 245. Sanjay Dutt at 242. Steve Carino, 240. Hala Wicked, Mascara Dorado. That's what I mean. El Texano Jr. at 229. Chessman at 231. They just lump them together. They're like, okay, here's our spot. We're going to put the luchadors here. That's what it feels like to me. I'm not saying that's what they do, but that's definitely what it feels like reading this list. Psychosis 2 above El Texano. Ricochet's at 226. Trent Beretta's at 220. Scott Steiner is at 218 for 2012. That is mind-blowing. Scott Steiner. Oh my god. I mean, I like Steiner. He does his thing. But let's be honest here. Scott Steiner's been doing... Excuse me. Scott Steiner goes and does his indie shows, and he does his thing. I mean, he doesn't do anything different or try to add something new. He just goes out there and he's Scott Steiner. I mean, it's not like he's trying to innovate matches here at this point in his career. And I understand that, so I just don't see Scott Steiner at 218. Mike Quackenbush, 217. Brad Maddox, 213. He's the referee who screwed CM Punk. JTG is at 207. Madness. This list is madness. 204 is blank. It just says, seriously, there's nobody here. Tyler Rex, 203. He retired. Eddie Kingston at 200. Rob Terry at 198. Rob Terry. They're talking about the guy who's with Robbie E., I assume. At 198. Has Rob Terry even had a match this year? I think he was part of the handicap match with Robbie E. versus Devon. I can't think of anything else Rob Terry's done. That is crazy. He's ranked that high. And even when he does wrestle, it's not that great. So I really can't even believe that right now. Michael McGillicuddy at 196. Excuse me. God. All this rain outside is making me sleepy. Drew McIntyre at 190. I guess that's good for Drew, but it's not like they're giving him a push, so I really have no idea how they came up with that conclusion to put Drew McIntyre so high. Unless they're watching a lot of superstars. I mean, if they take into consideration how over they are, it doesn't make much sense. Let's see here. Chavo Guerrero, 177. Hector Garza, Camacho. Camacho at 175? What? Camacho? That's the guy who... Where's Hunico? Oh my god, that means Hunico must be in the, like, top 100. This is stupid as hell. Camacho at 175? Now I know this guy hasn't had a match, right? This guy has not had a match. He's the guy who comes out on the bicycle with Hunico. 175. DJ Hyde should be higher than Camacho. I'm not going to say Garrett Bischoff. That's too much. I still believe he shouldn't be on this list. Alex Riley, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson. Of course, they're close together. Jinder Mahal, Mike Mondo, Kurt Hawkins, Caprice Coleman, Shannon Moore, Blue Demon Jr., Ezekiel Jackson at 150. And they're just throwing names out here now. AR Fox at 147. He should be in the top 100 easily. Drake Younger at 146 should definitely be in the top 100 for this year. Douglas Williams at 145. Mason Ryan at 135. Mason Ryan beats AR Fox on this list. Mason Ryan, the guy who can't work, can't talk, and hasn't done shit on TV except be part of AW's World Enterprises or whatever, and nothing happened. He's ranked higher than AR Fox, who's basically going out there and killing himself in matches. I cannot agree with that. Nobody would agree with that. What the hell were they thinking with this? Loki at 129, Rhino 128, Yoshi Tatsu at 125. Oh my god. Are these people taking, talking about house shows? Are they going to house shows and coming up with this crap? Nothing against Yoshi Tatsu, but we never see him wrestle. How can you put him in the top 500? This close. Cassius Ono, Chris Hero 124. Akira Tozawa and Masaki Mochizuki 123 and 122. I can't wait to get to this top 100. Abyss at 114, even though he spent most of this year being Joe Parks. Ryback at 111. Antonio Cesaro at 110. Heath Slater at 108. Tyson Kidd 107. Kid Cash at 105. Great Khali at 102. I am not making this up. They put Great Khali at 102. That is a name I did not expect to see. Holy crap. Great Khali is considered a better wrestler in 2012 than Antonio Cesaro, Chris Hero, AR Fox. Oh my god, the list goes on and on. This is the dumbest list I've ever seen in my life for wrestling. This is shit. Kyle O'Reilly's at 101, just one spot better than Great Khali. You got to be kidding me. Sin Cara's at 100. Justin Gabriel, Richie Steamboat, Red Titus, Evan Bourne, Carlito, the Usos, Damian Sandow at 89, Pac at 88, Hernandez at 86. This has got to be some biased crap right here. Hernandez beats Pac. If you've never seen Pac wrestle, he's awesome. Very, very good. And Hernandez beats him on this list. Eric Young at 85. Kenny King at 84. And then David Otunga at 83. I have liked David Otunga's heel work, but come on. Kenny King more than makes up for that with just ring work alone when it comes to Otunga. El Generico, Mike Bennett, Adam Cole, Brodus Clay at 74. Brodus Clay beats Adam Cole. Brodus Clay, this entire year, has done nothing but go out there, dance, and then squash somebody. He's changed nothing. He's been doing this all year, and he's ranked higher than Adam Cole, who won the Bola Championship, and he won the TV title in Ring of Honor. He's been getting a pretty good push, and Brodus Clay beats him. Tommaso Ciampa, Zack Ryder, Robbie E at number 66. Mark Briscoe at 65. Carl Anderson at 64. Jay Briscoe at 63. I do like the Briscoe brothers, but it's kind of goofy to separate them like that, especially when it's just one slot. It's so obvious they're just trying to make it look like they're not judging the tag teams together. Santino Marella at 60. Jeff Jarrett at 57, I guess from what he's been doing in Mexico. Wade Barrett at 56, even though he's been injured most of this year. Gunner at 55, Michael Elgin 54, Charlie Haas, Sami Callihan, Samoa Joe, Matt Morgan, The Miz, Christopher Daniels, Tensai at 45, Shelton Benjamin at 42. Now, I personally think Charlie Haas should be at 42 and Shelton should be at 53 because Haas has been doing great heel work. Shelton Benjamin hasn't really been bringing it in the ring, and I think Charlie Haas has really been taking to this character he's been doing, so I think he should be ranked higher than Shelton, but I know Shelton did go do some stuff in Japan, so maybe they're considering that. Crimson at 41. This is just getting stupid. Okada at 40, Jay Lethal, RVD at 37, R-Truth at 36, Sting at 35. God, Hulk Hogan better not be on this list. He better not be on this list. El Terrible, Jack Swagger, Roderick Strong, Kofi, Bully Ray. Bully Ray at 30, that's not bad. But with the way they're making this list, Bully Ray should be higher up. Jericho, Styles, Anderson, Dr. Wagner Jr., Devon, Cody Rhodes, Kane, Jeff Hardy, Kevin Steen at 20. Not sure how I feel about that. L.A. Park, Eddie Edwards, Big Show, Dolph Ziggler, Christian at 15. We're in the top 20 now. Randy Orton, Austin Aries, James Storm, Kiriyoshi Tenzin, Alberto Del Rio at number 10. So here's your top 10s. You got Alberto Del Rio at number 10. Number 9, you got Mark Henry. Now, like I said earlier, if they're going from this time last year to now, then yeah, Mark Henry probably should be on this list because he had a great run as the champion. Top 10, I would say more top 20 and put Kevin Steen in the top 10 just because he's been carrying Ring of Honor a lot, but so is Davey Richards. So yeah, I mean, I don't really have a big problem with that. Kurt Angle at number 8, Davey Richards at 7, Jun Akiyama at 6, Sheamus at 5, Daniel Bryan at 4, John Cena at 3, Bobby Roode at 2, and CM Punk at 1. So Sheamus is top 5. I mean, he's had some good matches. Top 5, I don't know about that. I mean, it's just because he's been getting such a push. It's not really him doing anything. It's just WWE getting behind him. Same thing with John Cena. John Cena has had some great matches, but I think that a lot of that has to do with CM Punk. And of course, Punk is number 1, so that helps. I'm glad Punk's number 1. Bobby Roode being number 2 is awesome. He's been a great heel this year. Done some great stuff with TNA. And I am very happy to see Bobby Roode at number 2. He definitely deserves that. Daniel Bryan at number 4 is also great. Of course, John Cena's got to be 3. You know, he works hard. He does. And he can have great matches. But once again, it is a lot of the company pushing him. So when you do a list like this, you can't please everybody. I understand that. You can't make everyone happy. You're either going to go by Mike's skills, ring work, the whole package, and you kind of got to lump it all together in order to make a list like this. But some of these choices, Great Khali. How? What in the hell? Did someone seriously finish this list? Put Great Khali there. It's like they were doing the list and then they said, "Oh shit, we forgot Great Khali. We'll just stick him right here." Because I cannot see someone doing that and saying, "Yes, Great Khali deserves that." Did you see his match with? No, it didn't happen. The person who made this list, without going and looking it up, name 5 Great Khali matches this year. Elimination Chamber, a tag match against somebody. I mean, he's always been protected. Maybe came out there and hit someone with the chop. That's it. And that's not even, you know, just the only crazy thing on this list. There's a lot of crazy stuff on this list. So anyways, I just thought for my 400th video, I'd go through and I'd look at this and just give my thoughts on this list. I've never looked at these before. I think I may have skimmed them a few years ago and maybe kind of looked at it then, but I don't really look at this stuff that much. So to see this and all 500 names is kind of it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. So anyways, I hope you guys like this video. Give me your thoughts on the top 500 wrestlers of 2012 and what you think about this list. You can look it up online. It's all over the place if you want to see the full thing for yourself. So anyway, I hope you guys like this video, and thanks for watching. Bye.